Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we talk outdoors for the next 90 minutes as we do every Saturday morning on ESPN 790. And I got to get used to that new name. It's going to be hard for me to say that, but that's what it is now, ESPN 790. On this, the last Saturday in August.
And guess what?
And guess what? You're here. That's right. That means bonus time. That's Gene Smith. You recognize that baritone voice.
Yeah.
There it is, right there. And this is also means Charlie Covington.
Yay!
Good morning, Larry.
Yeah, there's that big,
Gene.
that is definitely a tenor voice. And Charlie's in the studio with us this morning. And, you know, Charlie is our OLR Poet Laureate. And we have a poem later on in the show that Charlie has written. And, of course, Gene Smith is our 100 education guru. He'll be back next week. Well, back-to-back. Back Gene Smith.
I got back-to-back classes, too.
Yeah, you do. And then, of course, Justin Wooten is our show producer. Appreciate Justin being in here. And let's kick it right off, guys, because I got one of my good friends right now. He's just an amazing guy.
He is
We could
amazing.
spend the whole show talking to Kerry Smith about everyday life, and we'll touch on that a little bit. But Kerry is a master wood carver, and I just want to talk about his latest project. Good morning, Kerry.
Good morning, Larry.
Good to have you, buddy, and kind of a late notice, but Kerry is working on a project right now that I've seen on Facebook, and all you other million friends of Kerry's on Facebook, it seems like. But tell our listeners this project, what it is, and what's it going to be, and what's it for.
Larry, first of all, thank you for having me, and good morning to Cousin Smith over there.
Yes, sir. Yes,
all
sir.
related.
You beat me to it.
Yeah,
Somewhere, I think all Smiths are related.
I know it now.
Oh, yeah. Remember the first ones, Adam and Eve?
No, that was a Wong, according to Ron Wong. Okay, all right.
Adam and Eve Smith. Was who they
Correct.
were.
Correct.
Larry, this project, I was invited to participate in an event that happens each year called Conservation Through Art, and it's a part of Arts Memphis. And each year it happens about the first week of November, and conservationthroughart.org is their website where they list a number of activities that will be going on that will benefit Arts Memphis and Conservation Through Art and Ducks Unlimited as well.
Well, and the project that you've got is it's a pretty special project too.
It is. It's a flying wood duck that I'm doing, and I titled it Beaver Pond Wood Duck.
Yes.
And the reason that I decided to do a flying bird, they are going to have a gentleman there that's his name is Doug Miller, and Doug and his wife Ellen have collected decoys and birds of prey and other birds for a number of years from friends of mine, and it'll mostly be a static bird, so to speak. So when I was asked by a good friend of mine that will be honored at this year's event, if I could perhaps do a piece for this event, I came up with the idea of doing something flying. And you've got to understand, to do something flying is quite different than doing a flat-bottom decoy.
A little harder, too.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got wings. You've got to understand anatomy. And I've carved birds and ducks for 33 years, and so I understand a lot about anatomy. But to do something that's flying is exhausting. It's tiring. You have to do the inside and the outside of a wing. You have to do the bottom of the duck. You've got to do you've got to do so much to it, and that means carving and burning feathers and painting it.
Wow.
And so I proposed the idea of doing this flying duck. and they thought it would be great. So I sat down, thought about some of my past experiences. I grew up wood duck hunting in South Georgia. And I really started out rabbit hunting and deer hunting and quail hunting, and it was a great time for me. And one day, when we were running our dogs on the Flint River, we came upon a little beaver pond, and it just exploded with wood ducks, and I was hooked. I was just enamored with watching that. So for years after that, I hunted that little beaver pond, and so I wanted to do this to to kind of bring up some memories for me. Let it be something that would pull me through the stuff of life that I've experienced, that you know about, and to be something that would honor the efforts of Ducks Unlimited and Conservation Through Art.
Well, we're talking to Master Woodcarver Kerry Smith, and Kerry, you touched on it. I know we don't have a lot of time, but tell our listeners what as you said, you're going through.
I have suffered with chronic pain, Larry, for 13 years now. I've had 21 operations and procedures, neurological operations and procedures. If you looked at my back, it looks like a snake is what it looks like. It's just, and I've got all kinds of issues involved with it, and so I suffer with chronic pain every day. And my life is built around trying to find purpose and meaning that will help me to see beyond my pain.
Well, I know, Kerry, and this, so most people say, well, it's hard enough to wood carve and do what you do, but to do it with what you have to deal with, as you said, daily stuff.
Almost impossible.
Yeah, and so I know this project has to be even double special for you as you do it. As you,
it really is.
Yeah,
it really is.
And folks, tell them how they can. Is there a way to view this? I mean, how do they? I mean, are you chronicling this, or do you just have to be a friend of Kerry Smith? Or I've posted some of this on my website. I wanted y'all to know Kerry gave me permission to post some pictures that we're doing on OLR-Outdoors.com, Kerry, and that people can actually look and see where you are in the project. Because he just told me the other day he was in grid number 220 with 4 grits to go. Grits is what I get at Perkins. So I'm not sure what that is, but you got to go to.
Well, I tell you, let me propose that I do this. How about if all along the way I will send you pictures and you all can post it on your website.
That's what I'd like to do.
Go through it.
Yes, let's do that, because this is, he says, like he said, he's 9 weeks out. This is tedious work, because he's having the slow process of burning each feather. There's 2/3 of a fingernail left of a sanding goes out. I mean, there's all these things, because how big is this bird going to be?
It's a life-size bird.
See, it's life-size wood duck.
It is. It's a life-size wood duck, and like I said, I'll send you pictures of when it started and where I am right now, and just chronicle it along with you. And you mentioned that the grit size for sandpaper, and whenever the in-depth process of creating a feather, and a carving is only as good as the weakest feather.
You're not doing this with a chainsaw?
No, he's not doing it. Yeah. No,
that's
another Smith.
I tried that.
That's another Smith. Well, go ahead. Now, you're talking about sanding it down.
That's my cousin.
Yeah, and that's Cousin Smith. But we don't have time to get into cousins, because he's broke the concentration, as he usually does. So he knows.
That's right. But what I do is, after I carve the bird, and after I have carved feathers onto that block of wood, in order for me to burn each feather, and a feather has hundreds of little hairs that make it the feather. What I do is I'll start with a 150 grit sandpaper, which is coarse, and I will go all the way up to 600, sometimes even as much as 800, because the purpose is to make it like glass.
Wow.
In order to pack those lines in, that surface has got to be as smooth as possible, and that's the reason that I sand the way that I do.
And this will all lead up, as Kerry said, to Conservation Through Arts and Arts Memphis in preparation out at he's going to be for the final part of it. He'll be out at Ducks Unlimited, and then during that week in Kerry, they're going to auction this off on that Saturday night. I'm assuming that would be the second Saturday in November, and that's
yes.
so that's and as William Shatner would say, this is priceless.
Yes.
and I'm going to be honest with you. You know, as I have continued to go through this, that these pieces that I do, and each year is something different. I don't know what's going to happen with me with all this stuff that I've had.
Yeah.
And so now with each piece that I do, it makes it a little more difficult to get rid of it.
Well,
I bet.
Yeah. Now, what we'd like to do, Kerry, is maybe in about 3 weeks or something, come back with you on the show here and get get another update, and then maybe have you on the show before the event in late October, so we can talk about it then and everything else. Kerry Smith, thank you, buddy. You're an inspiration. Hang in there. God's good all the time for you, buddy, and I know that. And you've touched a lot of lives in your career, and just keep on hanging, as I know you will, buddy. Have a great day, okay?
Thank you, man, and take care of those guys in there with you.
Right.
Smith guy.
Terry,
I don't know how you do it.
Kerry,
I just got a book from the library because I do a lot of wildlife programs, and one of the books was about a real true wildlife artist studies the wildlife itself, not just take a picture of it.
Oh, I know it. Yeah.
And you know what? I used to have an aviary. I spent about 10 years with aviaries in my backyard, full of every duck that there was found in the United States. Well, not all of them, but a majority of them. And I would go out there every day and feed them and sit down with them, and that was the greatest teacher that I had to do what I do.
Well, buddy, we'll talk to you down the road. Thank you, Kerry Smith.
Good.
Okay, buddy, have a great day. Talk to you.
Thank you, Larry.
All right, let's take our first break of the morning. Gene Smith and Charlie Covenant in studio. Justin Wooten is our producer on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
And it's calling you and me. We're the mighty.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790, talking outdoors every Saturday morning. And we appreciate Kerry Smith, the master wood carver, the man that has chronic pain disease for the last 13 years and is still able to, he's working on this latest project of his, a wood carving of a wood duck.
Flying of all things.
Flying wood duck, and they're going to be auctioning that off in the second Saturday in November here at Ducks Unlimited. And on the theme of duck hunting and ducks and things like that, we couldn't have somebody better on our show then, and that's our good friend Chuck Smart from Mojo Outdoors down in Monroe, Louisiana. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, Larry. How are things going up there?
Oh, we're doing good. We're doing good. Are you taking care of Glenn Harris for me down there in Monroe? I mean,
best I can.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Don't take his guitar away from him, okay? So that's
okay.
He is that. We appreciate our good friend, outdoor writer Glenn Harris from that area down there. Chuck, you guys have and you just told me before we went on the air that 13 years ago the Mojo Duck arrived on the scene. And I guess when you look back in my career of almost 50 years in this business, there have been certain things that have come along that have been industry changers, and you guys were there.
It's been a game changer without a doubt. It's it's kind of helped people go about waterfowl hunting a lot different these days.
And you're still going at it. I have to, Chuck. Your pick stick. I know this is off the wall. You know I'm off the wall here when I start talking here. But I love your pick stick, okay? I mean,
Well, that saves a bunch of people. You know, we all getting older in age, and people are tired of bending over, and that pick stick will suck up. You know, we've counted about 30 holes.
well,
You know, at the range or at the blind. Just wave that wand down there, and it'll suck them holes up.
I will be, opening day of dove season will be Monday at noon here in Tennessee. I will have my pick stick. But the main thing, Chuck, I've been put on a strict diet. I'm supposed to walk 4 times a week fast for 45 minutes. You know what I take with me when I go walking?
The pick stick.
I take my pick stick. I can't tell you how many I've sold walking around my neighborhood wanting to know what that thing is. So I made it's an old man's tool too, okay? So
There you go.
But tell us about the blue wing teal, buddy. I know this is
We introduced that this year. It's it's a spin-off of our green wing teal that's got the super fast wings set up like a blue wing, and with the blue wing, all these states I've been noticing have started. They've extended their bag limit on blue wing teal. It used to be 4, now it's 6.
That's right. Yeah.
The possession limit is now up to 18, three times the daily bag limit, and they've given us about 3 weekends. And I've noticed a lot of northern states have started an early teal season.
So is it
going hand in hand? That's just another tool to put in your arsenal there for the early teal season. And Larry, I've seen this blue wing teal season is kind of getting like dove season.
It is, and I've seen you go to you guys' website, mojooutdoors.com, right?
Yep.
And see the videos and see it work and how it works. And of course, I love to watch you guys' videos because y'all always hunting T-shirts down there. It looks like most of the time. So
yeah, everything down here really bites you or stings you.
They will do that. We're talking to Chuck Smart, general manager for the Monroe, Louisiana-based Mojo Outdoors, about the new blue wing teal decoy. But my good friend Tommy Aiken says you guys have also got a new dove tree. Is that right?
Yeah, quick set dove tree. That dove season's a hot item for us. And it's a quick set dove tree. It'll roll up about 8 foot high. It's got kind of like a clothesline pole.
Yeah.
It's got some holes in it to accept your stationary decoys, like our clip-on, and an insert on the top for your voodoo dove, your Mojo voodoo dove.
Well,
and the good thing about it breaks down, much like a tent stake.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's got a hard ground spike in it for, rough surfaces. So, yeah, that's a great addition to our product line.
You guys, you sit around and say, hey, I think we need a tree. I mean, who comes up with these ideas? Is this a sit around a table, or is this in the blind, or is this you driving down the road in your four-wheeler? I mean,
it's all the above. We just get back here in the shop, start putting stuff together, and go test it, and then start tweaking it a little bit, and before you know it, we come up with a good idea.
Well, I know when I'm in the field Monday, I can guarantee you there will be some Mojo doves out there. I don't know about the tree yet, but are these out now, Chuck?
They are, correct. Most of your retail outlets have both the blue wing teal and the quickset dove tree.
Tell me about the pot. We're talking to Chuck Smart again from the Mojo Outdoors. The popularity of the TV show, Chuck. It has been. I love to watch it because it's spontaneous. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
That's right. Well, we try to take the viewer hunting with us is our goal.
And
on our show.
Now, how many years has it been on?
I would say 6, Larry.
Yeah, I was thinking more than 5 and everything else. Still on the Sportsman Channel, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, you folks out there, I'm going to give you can mark this down. It's posted on my website, OLR-Outdoors.com. And I'm giving you Central Times because you need to watch this TV show. It's entertaining, but you also learn something from them. It's on Mondays from 12:30 p.m., Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. That's the one I like to watch. Friday at, let's see what time Friday. It's on 11 a.m. I think he'd read my writing right there. Saturday, 1:30 a.m. for everybody just coming in or getting up. I don't know about that.
There you go.
Everything like that.
Whatever fits you.
Let me ask you, you look at your crystal ball. What do you think the duck season is going to look like, Chuck?
Man, I've been watching these numbers from the Fish and Game, and it looks great. Very wet up north, and I think we had a great hatch.
Yes, yeah.
I'm anticipating another great season.
Well, I know what that means. They're all be in Louisiana. So
no, well, they're tough. Time they get down here, you got to work for them.
yeah, we done shot at them enough coming through here,
Yeah,
right?
Punchy.
Everything,
Yeah.
every square box they see, they're getting shot at.
Yeah, I know what my pick stick is worn out by then and everything. Then, so hey, Chuck,
Well, that's a good sign.
yeah, that's a good. Chuck, thank you, buddy. Give them that website again to get information.
It's MojoOutdoors.com.
You the man. Thank you, Chuck Smart, for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we'll stay in touch. Have a great season, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Chuck Smart. I love Mojo Outdoors. I just love the name, I mean, you
Reminds me of a song.
It does. You could have been Gene Mojo when you were born.
I got my mojo working.
Yeah. We'll go to MojoOutdoors.com. See that blue wing teal, because it's pretty cool. And speaking
It's another
of,
pretty duck.
huh?
It's another pretty duck.
It is, and they've expanded those things. And if you're wondering, we're going to have a complete show next week about the TWRA and about the commission meeting that's going on. Went on yesterday and the day before in Jackson, the Tennessee Fish and Wildlife Commission, which I still have trouble getting that new name down. It's hard to come out there and everything. But anyway, we're going to talk a lot about. Gene will be back in studio next week with Dave Gabbert.
Brother Darrell.
Brother Darrell, and we'll have Bill Cox is going to be on the show. We're going to hook up maybe with Joe Benedict, the state waterfowl coordinator, maybe
And we'll have some good prizes.
Daryl Radijak and things along that line. So anyway, go to that and get ready for it on next week's show. But good to have Gene. He's busy. I mean, you got
Yeah, I got a class starting at Bellevue Baptist, and I got one at the Baptist Boys Ranch starting Tuesday.
what's the age limit on that?
9 and above.
9 and above.
Right.
What is above?
Above 9.
What's the oldest? What's the oldest
Well,
student?
I had a guy in my class who was 79 years old. Of course, he had his great-grandkids in there with him. He said, well, I'm just going to sit in, too. And he said, you know what, I really learned something. I said, well, I learn something every time. People tell me stories.
Yeah, 79. That doesn't sound near as old as it used to be.
No, it does not.
Does it, huh?
No, it does not.
What's wrong with 79? We need to get you.
Nothing wrong with 79.
So if you are there, they can go to TNWildlife.org and see where classes are and things.
Yeah, also, it's kind of hard to find. Just type in hunter education class.
Yes.
It'll pop up, and you look for one in Shelby County, and that's where it'll be.
That's where it'll be. And so it's 9 and above, and you got to go to class.
Right, it's 11 hours. My class is 11 hours. I'm thinking about having some field days, which is only like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, all right.
So far, I had a class at Independent Press, had 79 people in it.
79?
Yeah, it was okay, but it was hard to grade papers and shoot 79 people with just 3 people helping me.
Yeah, well.
You should have passed the hat with that number.
A big
Yeah.
hat.
Yeah.
A big hat. Now, of course, I wish we had a camera in here today because Gene Smith has come in his alter ego.
Well, Charlie wanted me to wear my fur hat.
Oh, Charlie wanted you to wear that fur
he kept
hat.
saying,
That's
"You
his
need-"
trademark.
That's your trademark?
Yeah.
Is that on
Yeah.
your driver's license? This,
No, I got my skunk
hope
hat on
not.
my driver's license.
your skunk hat on your
Yeah.
driver's
My
license.
mountain man name is Stinky.
Well, we'll take a picture, and of course, those of you who've asked about what Justin Wooten looks like, we're going to post that on our website
Yeah.
also.
Handsome
For all
young
you
man.
women, huh?
He's a handsome
Well,
young
for the
man.
most part, yeah. Okay, so we'll.
Got that big old thing on his face.
No,
Oh, that's his nose. I'm
don't-
sorry.
You are really something else, buddy. We're going to post that picture of you too. You look
All
pretty
right.
cool. Charlie Covenant in studio with us also this morning, and we're going to. You got that poem ready later on, don't you, Charlie?
It's ready.
What's the name of it?
The Outdoors Dad.
The Outdoors Dad.
All right.
And that Outdoors Dad probably has a wig like you got on right now.
Yeah, he probably does. He may not have any hair. He's
What do you mean?
maybe an older dad like me.
All right, let me tell you about today's show. Boy, we have got a jam-packed show, and I'm sorry we couldn't hook up with Craig Morgan last week. Some mess up. We couldn't get in touch with Craig, so we're trying to reschedule him to get him back on the show. But, hey, we're going to talk today on today's show, Bobby Cleveland. You ever heard of that name? If you've been out there, he is the answer man for Staybill's Engine, but he's also the National Lawnmower Racing Champion, and he holds the world record for the fastest lawnmower. 96.529. Wow.
You remember when they used to have that race up here somewhere where that dragster got out of control and
Yeah,
injured the
yeah,
people?
yeah.
They had lawnmower races up there, and I was kidding the guy. I said, how much money you got in them back tires? $1,000. He said, I got more than that. No, he said, I got more than that in them tires.
In the tires.
Yeah, I said, he had about like $10,000 in a lawnmower.
Oh, well, this is, anyway, they're going to be at the Delta Fair on September the 7th at 2 p.m. The lawnmower racers will be out there. Now, Bobby won't be out there. We're going to talk to Bobby Cleveland a little bit about him and hook up with Jason Presley, the park ranger at Greers Ferry Lake, about the 45th annual Greers Ferry Lake and Little Red River cleanup coming up on September the 6th. And, yes, we are, if everything goes right in Radio Lane, we're going to talk to Kim Rhode out in Sacramento, California. She is, of course, a 5-time Olympian shotgunner and heading to Rio in 2016. And we'll talk to Kim. And then one of the big events, we're getting ready to do wild game dinners. September the 6th will be the first one out at Millington First Baptist. And then on September the 13th, the annual Hunter D. Stafford Memorial Wild Game Supper out at Holly Grove, Cumberland Presbyterian Church out near Brighton, and that's a big event. And then, of course, September the 20th, I'll be at Kirby Woods Baptist Church for their Wild Game Supper, so we'll be talking about a lot about them. All right, let's take our next break, come back and see if we can hook up with Bobby Cleveland. If he's out riding his mower someplace right now, we'll get him with his earplugs in on Outdoors with Larry Ray on Sport 790. That's SPN 790. I knew I'd do that one time today. All right.
Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We got woodlands, fields, and water.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
And it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 here in Memphis, Tennessee. We talk outdoors every Saturday morning for 90 minutes. In our 14th year on the air, and one of the guys that's right there when we started this venture way back in August of 2000 was our good friend Gene Smith, and Gene's in with me this morning along with Charlie Covington as our co-host, and we'll be talking to them off and on. And I know Gene is pretty fired up about this next guest because he happened to bump into this lady.
Yeah, I saw him at the
Rebecca Toohey.
Yeah, the Good Guys car show in Nashville, and the stable stabilize you, put in your gasoline tank.
Yes.
For all your vehicles to make sure they keep a clean tank and start when you need them.
When you need them. And so Rebecca, she hooked up somebody, and they didn't work out. Then they hooked up somebody else, and I'm kind of glad we got this next guy as a hookup.
This guy is awesome.
Yeah, this guy is. You folks out there know him from what he's done in the U.S. Lawnmower Racing Association. He's a champion. He's the world record holder for the fastest on a lawnmower at 96.52 miles per hour on the Bonneville Salt Flats in 2010. But he's also known as the Answer Man for our good friends at Staybill's Engine Answer Man, and that's Bobby Cleveland out of Locust Grove, Georgia. Good morning, Bobby.
Good morning. How y'all doing this bright and early this morning?
Oh, we're doing good. We just want to know how many lawns can you mow at that fast of speed, you know? So
I tell you what, I can mow them pretty fast as long as they're straight. That's what kind of gets me in trouble. That's what I tell everybody. But most of the time when they say something about cutting grass, I say, I don't cut grass. I just go fast. But when I get through, the grass is gone.
The grass is gone. Well, before we get into the Answer Man portion of your lifetime, I got to ask you this, Bobby, and we don't have any script here. It's all off my little head here. This is not Larry King Live. It's Larry Ray Dead, as I tell everybody. But how did you, in a brief synopsis here in our 10 to 12 minutes, how in the world did you get to be what you're doing?
Well, it's quick. I'll give you a quick version of. Back when I was growing up, I used to cut the grass with a snapper wrench and rider, and I thought that was fun to do, and it almost do wheelies because it's light on the front end, so I was always popping little wheelies, so that made cutting grass fun. And then I ended up working at the lawnmower company, Snapper, the lawnmower company here in McDonough, Georgia.
Really?
Which I worked at for 27 years. I was in the engineering at there, and we had plenty of spare parts
Right.
working with the test department, and we ended up making lawnmowers that go fast and do wheelies.
Wow.
So I'd been playing with fast lawnmowers a long time before I found out about the United States Lawnmower Racing Association, and I found out about them back in '95. And so I took a couple of my wheelie machines and that I ride them in parades all the time, but I took a couple of those to a race over in Decatur, Alabama, and won my first race, and I hadn't slowed down since. And that was about 18 years ago.
Yeah, you got a hook, didn't you?
That's amazing. Again, we're talking to Bobby Cleveland. He is the Stabil's engine answer man and national lawnmower racing champion. And when you broke the record, I mean, at the Bonneville Salt Flats, I guess that had to be the place to do it. Describe that day for me.
Well, it was a great day, and we got there because I told my boss, I said, look, I'd make a mower probably go 100 miles an hour, and he said, oh, really? And I said, well, yeah, and I said, that'd be good to, good advertisement, and so they finally said, yeah, let's do it, and we went out to Bonneville and set the record, and I'd been 75, 80 miles an hour several times, just with my racing mower, running around the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, golly.
And, so anybody that goes to Bonneville never goes as fast as they think they're going to, because you're at 4,000 feet elevation, plus you're on salt, which you got more resistance and less traction. So it's like running down a dirt road.
Uh-huh.
And so, with a little, it started with a 20-horse Briggs & Stratton B-twin engine, and that's a pretty good load for a lawnmower with me sitting on top of it to go almost 100 miles an hour. So we got out there, and they treated us just like we went 300 miles an hour.
In speed life, you did.
Yeah.
That's right. And so, we just had a great time, and I tell you what, it's been one of the better things. I tell everybody that when I become a older man, that I'm going to sit on the rocking chair on the front porch, and I'm going to talk about Snapper, Stabil, and the world's fastest lawnmower, and who else can say they've done that?
No
Amen.
one.
Amen.
And not only that, he's a builder of the world's first monster mower. He's a member of the Team USA and British 12-hour lawnmower race in 1999. He's been featured on Discovery Channel. He's even been a consultant to the one and only Jess James on Monster Garage. This guy actually has been on the front page of the Wall Street Journal.
I don't doubt it.
So all the way from Locust Grove, Georgia. Okay, talking lawn.
Well, the one that's not on there is the Playboy one.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that just woke up some of our audience
I
out
figured
there.
it'd be in the Plowboy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told my dad, I said, no, I wasn't naked, but the lawnmower was.
Well, Bobby, tell us, I know Stabil's been really good to you. You've toured for them since 2005 and been their answer man. A lot of our folks out there in our audience, and whether it's in North Mississippi, East Arkansas, West Tennessee, are always needing tips to keep that engine running. My wife we have a tiller that we use in our garden, and we've had some tiller problems with it. And I've learned whole lot about non-ethanol and things along that line, but I've also learned about Stabil's products and things. So tell our listeners, give us some Bobby Cleveland tips as we go into this fall.
Sure. Well, in the South, when ethanol came down here, we having a little more problems than they do up north because we have a lot of humidity.
Yes.
And because of the humidity, the ethanol attracts moisture, and as your equipment or your car, whatever, as it runs, it breathes in the air, and the ethanol grabs the moisture and keeps it inside. Air and water is what breaks down your fuel. So your fuel's going to break down faster with more moisture in it. And so with our Stabil fuel stabilizers, we prevent that from happening as quick. So we're going to keep that gas fresh for at least a year.
Wow.
And, back in the day, it was just, gas would last for 6 months.
Yeah.
And now we're talking 30 days. And so you have to manage your fuel system a little better than you used to. And with the ethanol and the gas, it breaks down twice as fast. So with our fuel stabilizers, we recommend you keep your tanks full. The fuller the better. And the reason being, if there's air in your system, you're going to get condensation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that condensation is going to rust your tanks and rust your carburetors, your injectors, and we've got corrosion inhibitors, water removers, and a lot of cleaners in our stay-bill now to help fight the effects of ethanol, which we're constantly doing all the time. So instead of just thinking about storing in the fall or the spring, you need to think about it more often than not. And the other thing is just being in a habit of using it, because the big problem with everybody is, I forgot to put it in that string trimmer. I forgot to put it in my generator.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, that's the one that you're going to have to be pulling that carburetor off to get it running, which is another headache, because when you want it, need it, you need it. So I call it inexpensive insurance, just using it all the time. And that way, the little extra money that you spend to do that all the time is going to keep your system running nice and clean. Plus, you're not forgetting to put it in. You do it all the time. So if you do that, guaranteed to never have a starting problem. Plus, you don't have all that rust and corrosion in your system that's going to end up clogging up your jet.
Well, we're talking again to Bobby Cleveland. He's Staybill's engine answer man, and we're pleased to announce that Rebecca Toohey, they're sending us some products from Staybill's that we're going to be giving away on Outdoors with Larry Ray, the show, on my website, OLR-Outdoors.com. Because the amazing thing about this, Bobby, is you can spend a little bit to save you from spending a whole lot, right?
That's correct. That's correct. That old saying, you can pay now, you can pay later.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
definitely works with ethanol fuel. But another thing, just so you know, I've been in the racing series for now since '95, and we have a great time with that series. It's the USLMRA, United States Lawnmower Racing Association, and I'm actually getting inducted to the Hall of Fame this year on
Really?
September the 13th.
September the
So that's another thing
13th.
that's going on with me.
Congratulations.
Wow. Where's that going to be at, Bobby?
It's going to be in Delaware, Ohio. It's just north of Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
And that's a big deal for us. We're at our nationals this year. I'm going to get inducted, so that's really good.
Oh,
so,
that is cool, man.
Racing lawnmowers has been pretty good to me, and here I am, the engine answer man. In fact, I've got a Facebook.
Yeah, tell them.
Answer man.
Tell them how to get in touch. Get up on your Facebook. What's that?
Facebook is Engine Answer Man.
Engine Answer Man. Just go to that.
Yep, and I got a website, the engineanswerman.com. And so if you got any questions about your fuel system or anything about ethanol or how to take care of your fuel system, don't hesitate to send me a note, and we'll get back with you on that.
I bet it's a cool thing when you go to a high school reunion and they ask Bobby Cleveland, "What are you doing today, Bobby?"
Well, I'm just going to get my lawnmower out and tail some grass.
Bobby, thank you for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Let's talk again, buddy, down the road, okay?
Hey, I appreciate it and enjoyed it, and I always like talking about lawnmowers.
All right, you the man. Thank you, Bobby. All right,
All right,
we'll talk
thank
to you. All right, Bobby Cleveland. One of our,
And we
I
about
enjoyed
covered
that.
everything now.
Yeah, we
on
really
this show,
going into
haven't
the
we?
Hall of Fame for the U.S. Lawnmower Racing Association, and but I could just imagine when he goes to reunions and
What do you do?
I race lawnmowers here, and I'm an answer man, so that's pretty cool. We appreciate Rebecca Toohey setting that up for us. And again, they're going to send us some products, and we thank Gene Smith.
Yes, sir.
For fixing that up. They had, like I say, they had a couple other folks that couldn't make it on the show, and she said, "Would you like to talk to Bobby Cleveland?"
Oh, I think we hit a home run on that one.
Yeah, I think that too. But so anyway, thanks to Bobby Cleveland for being on there. You never know who's going to be on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
We
do you?
cover it all.
We have covered it a lot. I mean, when you think of that, then we're going from the man who holds the world record of lawnmower to a 5-time Olympian shotgunner in Sacramento, California. So we touch all the bases. All right, Justin, let's take another break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Come back and talk about one of my favorite places to visit, and that's Greer's Ferry and the Little Red River in beautiful Arkansas. On Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
And it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
And it's calling.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 and here in Memphis, Tennessee. This being the 5th Saturday of the month. That means that Charlie Covington and Gene Smith are my co-host, and, of course, Justin Wooten is the show producer. We appreciate Bobby Cleveland talking to us on the previous segment, the world's fastest guy on a lawnmower.
Awesome.
Pretty unbelievable. Then let's talk right now, and it's kind of strange because Bobby says he's been in the business for 45 years as a mechanic. Well, guess we'll celebrate its 45th anniversary here on September the 6th.
One of my favorite places.
That's right. That'll be the date for the 45th annual Greers Ferry Lake and Little Red River cleanup. And we've got Jason Presley. He's a park ranger at Greers Ferry Lake for the Corps of Engineers. He's been with the Corps for 15 years. He's a local guy from Heber Springs, Arkansas. And let's talk about the cleanup. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. How you doing?
We're doing great, buddy. And I know the late and great Carl Garner, which passed away back in July at the age of 99, was on this show, maybe the second show we ever did. And, of course, I knew Carl. Carl was old when I knew him, right. But he was an amazing guy. He fought for Greers Ferry Lake, and it's hard to believe, but I think I was at the 5th one, and I've been on the cleanup and everything. So tell our listeners exactly what goes on September the 6th.
Okay, first of all, we have some check-in locations, and those are going to be located at Choctaw Marina,
okay,
Sugarloaf Marina, Narrows Marina, Hill Creek Marina, Heber Springs Marina, Fairfield Bay Marina, E. Nile Marina, Dam Site Gatehouse, Shiloh Gatehouse, and for folks that want to clean up along the river, the check-in location is going to be at JFK Gatehouse, John F. Kennedy Gatehouse.
And that is part of the Chapter 722 of the Trout Unlimited, right?
Yes, sir.
We'll be helping with those volunteers at the entrance to JFK Park. And I know that we'll have all this information posted on my website at OLR-Outdoors.com. But what they need some volunteers. I don't know, and you have until coming up on September the 1st to sign up. Is that right? Monday?
Well, we take pre-registrations up until September the 5th.
Okay.
I'll be getting all the information out to the check-in stations, but check-in time is at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
At all of our check-in stations, and we'll do a cleanup. We'll either clean up the lake shoreline, or we'll clean up the river or roadsides that are around the lake. Starting at 11 o'clock. We will have a catfish lunch.
Oh, there you go. That'll get a folks there. Yeah.
At the Narrows Marina, and there will be entertainment there, and that'll be provided by Harding Choir.
Yeah.
Another entertainer that will be there is Jason Greenlaw in the Groove.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to have all sorts of family activities and things going on too, right? And this has become kind of of course, 45 years. I don't know how much tons of litter you guys have collected over the years, but it's pretty amazing what you find each year and how much work you guys do, isn't it?
That's right. We find anything from old tires to mattresses to you name it, we've probably found it.
Amazing what it does. But you couldn't do it without the volunteers. That was Carl's dream, to get folks to come out and do it as a team, right, Jason?
That's right. That's the key. That's the key that makes this cleanup a success. Is all our volunteers that we have. And
you guys have won awards for this, right?
Yes, sir, we have. And I can't remember the years that we've won awards, but we've won several awards for the cleanup.
Well, you growing up in Heber Springs, you probably had a chance to meet and greet Carl Garner. I imagine he might have had a little impact on your life and your job, right?
That's right.
Well, tell our listeners who do not know about Carl Garner. You try to describe him.
Well, he is the legend here for the for the cleanup. He's the one that started this back 45 years ago, and you know, he had a dream, and what it was to clean the lake up, and it just grew and grew and grew into what we have today.
Did you ever participate when you were a kid?
Oh yes, sir. Going to school here in Heber, there were some organizations at the high school that participated with the cleanup, so I came out and helped serve.
Well, you did. Did you ever? Is this your dream job then?
Yes, sir. This is what I want to do.
Oh, that's pretty amazing to get to work where you want to work.
Amen.
And spend time in your own backyard. But this is really a community thing. So tell our listeners out there what they'll be doing.
Well, at the check-in stations, the different marinas will have boats to shuttle folks out.
Yeah.
And I think we'll have volunteers with boats at Choctaw Marina.
Yeah.
I still haven't gotten a confirmation from Sugarloaf Marina or Hill Creek Marina, but Heber Springs Marina, Narrows Marina, Fairfield Bay Marina, those will all have boats there for folks who are interested in getting on a boat and going out on the shoreline to clean up trash along the lake.
Well, it's just an amazing event, folks. It's a short 3-hour drive, and I know a lot of Memphis area people spend time on Greer's Ferry. That's a place, and Charlie Covington is holding up his hand, and I know I spend a lot of time over there at my good friend Billy Lindsay and those guys at Lindsay's resort and things like that. So tell them how they get in touch with you, Jason, and we'll make sure we get that posted on my website. There's a number to call, right?
That's right. You can call our project office at 501-362-2416, or you can call the Greer's Ferry Fish Hatchery at 501-362-3615, or you can call the Greer's Ferry Lake and Little Red River Association toll-free at 888-490-4357.
Well, buddy, I hope you get 600 volunteers. Oh, that's a lot of catfish.
That's a lot of catfish.
That's a lot of catfish, that's for sure, and everything. Well, Jason, thank you for being on with us this morning. I wanted to get you in there, and once again, we'll have all this information posted on OLR-Outdoors.com, and put it on your calendar, folks. September the 6th, the 45th Annual Greer's Ferry Lake and Little Red River Cleanup. Jason Presley, thank you for being with us, and you have a great day, okay, buddy?
Hey, thank you. Let me mention one more thing just real quick. Things for the whole family to do while at the Narrows Marina after the lunch or before the lunch. They're going to have an arena bounce house for the kids.
Oh, okay.
They're going to have face painting. We're going to have a water safety booth with games. There will be different stations there for recycling booth with prizes. There'll be a caricature drawings for the whole family, door prizes, and more. So y'all come on out and have fun.
Come on out and have fun. Thank you, Jason. Have a great day, okay?
Hey, thank you. You too.
Thank you. All right. Jason Presley. Can't go on with a name like that. That's my son's first name, and everybody else knows Elvis. So there you go, Jason Presley.
He left the building.
He left the building. So that's September the 6th. So
I rented a boat one time. We went over camping, and we drove from the dam all the way down to the Narrows.
That's a pretty good drive.
It is, on water.
On water. Huh. All right.
It didn't look that far on the map.
Didn't look that far on the map. I'm sure it didn't, and everything like that. So, all right. Well, we appreciate Jason. That's September the 6th out there on the Greer's Ferry Lake and the Little Red River, and the great Carl Garner, the late and great, 99 years old when he passed away in July. And I know he worked 70 years at least for the Corps of Engineers.
It's amazing.
He was an amazing guy. He was all knowing and everything. Charlie Covington, I was going to save it till the end. You want to do it now? Or you want to wait? We got time in this segment, or you want to wait? Let's let's just wait until the very end, because I want you to close out with Charlie Covington's poem, because that keeps you around, all you listeners, and some of you just now getting up. I don't want you to miss it, because I'll have it posted on LROutdoors.com. And, of course, we'll post the photograph of Gene Smith and his latest trip to the barber that you need to quit.
I went to a clip joint.
It was a joint.
You need to quit going to that school of barbering. I'm telling you that.
Well, they're learning,
They are?
Yeah, they finally got my ear back on.
Please don't give him your ear. All right, let's take a break. We're going to come back, and we're going to try to hook up with one of our favorite guests on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and that's five-time Olympian Kim Rhode from Sacramento, California, on ESPN 790.
Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
And it's calling you.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Talking outdoors as we do every Saturday morning for 90 minutes in Memphis, Tennessee, as we go into our 14th year on the air. And always one of our special guests when we're able to get this young lady on with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray. She's been on several times and has a really huge following in the Memphis area here for what she's accomplished in her career as a shotgunner and marksman and everything like that. And that's our good friend Kim Rhode from out in Sacramento, California. I guess that's close, right, Kim?
LA to be exact, but close enough.
Close enough. Well, we're really privileged. I know you're getting ready to gear up for the World Championships in about a couple of weeks or so and everything. But, hey, when I received word recently, Kim, that you were going to be the honorary fundraising chairperson for the Scholastic Shooting Sports Foundation, I said, I got to talk to Kim about this because I know how much this organization means to you, right?
Oh, it's such a fantastic organization. They do so much for kids and for youth, and it's just so important that we pass on the tradition, and that's really what this organization is all about, besides teamwork and really building those life skills for kids.
And, and we're talking to Kim Rhode, five-time Olympian, looking forward to Rio in 2016, and I know, Kim, that the Scholastic Clay Target program it's just booming in Tennessee here. I'm just amazed at the numbers of kids that are involved in this. When you look at this and say, wow, is this where you thought it would be?
The program has just grown leaps and bounds, and it's just getting bigger and bigger, and it's fantastic. It's giving all the shooting sports a pool to pull from, and definitely helping all the different shooting disciplines grow, and that's really the ultimate goal of, the program, is to double the amount of people that get involved in our shooting. Well,
I know that you've really been a big plus in all of this. I know you won't accept that, but I know you have with your not only your success, but your the way you carry yourself as a representative of the sport. And I know you're preparing for Rio, but tell our listeners out there, 2014's been good to you. You still got things to do. What's the Kim Rhode goal here?
Well, I think, you always have goals that you set moving forward. And for me is obviously, bringing more awareness to the shooting sports.
Yeah.
And by me going for my 6th Olympics, I think that's going to be one of my biggest goals. And hopefully bringing home a gold medal for the United States, going for that perfect score. I know last Olympics in London, I shot a 99 out of 100. And so we're always looking for that perfect 100 straight, so that's going to be something that's going to be on that list. And, I think ultimately also just having a lot of fun, enjoying what I do.
Well, life has changed in the last year or so for you, though.
Oh, yes, it has. I've got my son Carter. and he's been fantastic. He's now running around and keeping me busy as a mom.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. Like I say, I don't think there's ever a dull moment around my house.
Well, when you look back on it, and you started this sport at such a young age, I mean, I look at other sports, and somebody say, well, I got burned out, or maybe I did too much too early and everything like that. Advice would you offer for kids right now? You seem to be able to still thrive, still be competitive. I'm not aging you now. Don't get that now. I'm not aging you.
There you go.
No,
there you go.
I'm not aging just because you.
Yeah. I think that the competitor in me always is pushing myself to do more and to be better, and so obviously that comes with a lot of training. But the best advice I could give to any young kid that gets involved is to really enjoy the sport, enjoy the people, enjoy the places that you get to go to see, and that you're going to be competing, because there are places all over the world and within the United States. And I think that's one of the most fantastic things about it, and I think that's what keeps me going and keeps me, coming back again and again. Well,
we're talking to Kim Rhode, a 5-time Olympian, gearing, pointing toward Rio in 2016, and also a stay-at-home mom. If you want to get at that with a young son named Carter, and I know you look back. Think back to those times in El Monte or California when you were a little girl. Does it still blow your mind, Kim?
Yeah, it's amazing. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the help of so many people at my hometown in El Monte. I mean, gosh, people gave me rides out to the range, and, I just had a lot of support. So, yeah, it does blow my mind. Looking back now, 5 Olympics, going for my 6th, it's incredible. It's been an amazing journey, and I've been so blessed and so honored to have had the opportunity, and hopefully I can do the country proud and win one more. At least one more, maybe 2. We don't know. I'm at 1 Olympics at a time here.
Okay, don't jump ahead like that, because I know. I know it's going from London to Rio, though. That's a different climate and a different everything. Does that change your strategy? Because I know what kind of weather you had to deal with in London was unbelievable. Of course, you've been to Beijing, you've been to these other places. What about Rio? Have you ever been to Rio?
We have competed in Rio. It's a very warm climate.
Yeah.
But it's very beautiful. It reminds me a lot of the California kind of climate. And, that's something that we take into account in our training. We try to shoot in different types of conditions. I mean, the different elements. That's really what the shotgun sports are about. It's kind of like golf. You have to be able to take in the lighting and the wind, and, all that plays a factor into the sport. And we're obviously trying to put ourselves in as many different types of conditions that we can to try to be as much prepared for whatever may be thrown our way the day of the match.
Well, I know one thing. How's your antique and muscle cars doing?
Oh, they're doing just fine. Just fine,
I always ask you
that. I've been adding to them. I think I'm
really?
up to 17 or 18 cars now.
Really?
I'm an avid collector.
You're the only person I know that you can combine muscle cars with Wizard of Oz.
I saw on Barrett Chapel.
You know that because I know you love Wizard of Oz and books and things, like children's books and things. So.
Yes, I'm kind of eclectic like that. I really love the old muscle cars. I started off with a 1965 AC Shelby Cobra after the 1996 Olympics and built a kit from the ground up and put a 427 side oiler with a 428 crank, stroked it, and just, did it all right. And 5.5 years later, I had a running car. And from there, it just kind of progressed into just a love and passion. And then I also love the art. I'm a big art fan and love the illustrations in the children's books, and that's the collection for the first edition children's book. So, I mean, those are the only 2 things I collect. I try to keep it to those 2 things. I don't have enough room.
I think that's enough. It's really strange. I don't know if you know, but we had the world record holder in lawnmower racing on earlier in the show today. 96 miles an hour on the Bonneville Salt Flats on a lawnmower. So
are you going to race me? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying.
It's a challenge.
Like so much fun.
Yeah, I just wonder what these muscle cars are capable of. What's the highest speed that Kim Rhode's ever ridden in?
Well, we used to. I live right by the Irwindale.
I know you.
Racetrack right
Yeah.
here in California, and I have to say that we've had it up well over 100 miles an hour. And, my Kobo will reach 100 miles an hour in second gear.
Oh my
and,
gosh!
And you can light the tires up in all 4 gears, and it's uber fast.
You blow my mind, Kim. You got so many things, and just put Carter in there with you and just take off. Strap him down. Well, again, thank you for being with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray, one of our best guests always. Always good to talk to you. A lot of fans here, and go get them in the World Championship. Where will that be?
Well, the World Championships are going to be in Granada, Spain.
Granada, Spain. Okay, not to be confused with Grenada, Mississippi. Okay, that's the same thing like that. Well, go get them, and we're pulling for you, and we'll stay in touch. And, again, Scholastic Clay Target Program, folks. You want to give money to Scholastic Shooting Sports Foundation. Kim is the honorary fundraising chairperson for 2014-15. I want to give you that website that you can go to. Where is that?
It's SSSF online.org.
That's it, /donations. I know she'd love to have some money come in, wouldn't you, Kim?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, it's really for the kids. I mean, the program is fantastic, teaching them about teamwork, teaching them about, life lessons like how to be responsible, respectful, as well as, just really giving these kids an opportunity for their education and having a lot of fun, making those lifelong bonds with, other kids. So it's really fantastic all the way around.
Well, we got that posted on LROutdoors.com, my website. And again, go to that website. It's called SSSFonline.org/donations and give some money to these guys. Kim Rhode, thank you for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we'll stay in touch, okay?
My pleasure. I look forward to the lawnmower race one day.
Okay. All right, Kim. We'll challenge you to that, all right?
Okay,
You have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Kim Rhode, 5-time Olympian. Love to talk to her. Into muscle cars.
I know.
Do you hear that? And,
Yeah.
Just to do those kind of things.
We have a car cruise every Thursday in Bartlett at Kirby Whitney Stage Road.
I forget about that. That's pretty
Anywhere
cool
from
thing.
$1,000 car to $100,000 car.
Well, I know which one is yours.
Yeah, mine's the 500.
Yeah, have you seen my 56 Chevy 2 out there yet? I
Yeah.
keep waiting for it to show back. A 66 Chevy 2 out there someplace. But anyway, all right. That was fun, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
She's an interesting person.
Yes,
She's an interesting person. A 1-year-old son, Carter, and stay-at-home mom, but she's got a lot of things going on. Going to Grenada, Spain, for her next competition.
We have a lot of kids in Memphis shooting.
We really do.
Arlington won another championship.
Yeah, that's right.
National championship.
Christian Brothers has some good shooters, so we can't just. There's a lot of them out there, and we really appreciate what goes on to do that. Lance Ryder, our Region 1 guy here
Right.
for shooters and things along that. Well, we may talk to him next week a little bit about that too.
And Manassas has a shooting team.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate all those. All right, let's take a break. Justin Woot, we're going to come back and wrap up today's show in the final segment. Charlie Covington's poem is coming, and it is once again entitled The Outdoors Dad with Charlie Covington on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
The mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
And it's calling.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Justin Wooten is our show producer. Appreciate Kim Rhode, 5-time Olympian, shotgunner, being on with us on the previous segment. And we've just challenged her to a muscle car race against a world record lawnmower guy earlier in the year, the show of Bobby Cleveland. This is that time. We're getting ready to roll here. We got September the 6th. We've got a big event coming up at Millington First Baptist. That's their wild game dinner, and our good friend Brody Swisher is coming down to speak at that one. September the 13th, the 14th annual Hunter D. Stafford Memorial Wild Game Supper out at Holly Grove Cumberland Presbyterian Church. And then on September the 20th at Kirby Woods Baptist Church, they're going to have their first Wild Game Supper, and they brought me out of the mothballs to be the speaker at that one. But we're going to talk right now with our good friend Jimmy Stafford about the big event that's coming up out at Holly Grove Cumberland Presbyterian Church. And this event is not just an event to Jimmy. It's part of he and his wife Emma's their life. And so, first of all, good morning, Jimmy.
Good morning, Mr. Larry.
We're doing great here. And tell us a little bit about the reason for the Hunter D. Stafford Memorial Wild Game Supper.
Okay. Well, how it got started is Hunter was killed by a drunk boater on the Tennessee River, and he had told us that he wanted to be a preacher, and he loved hunting and fishing, and so Emma and I put this, just prayed about it a lot on what we needed to do and to carry on his ministry, and we come up with this wildlife supper, and now all the money that we raise from the wildlife supper goes to help send kids to church camp and to go on mission trips. And
this is something that had to be, it's got to tug at your heart because every year it's coming, and at the same time it brings back memories, but at the same time it brings back a lot of smiles too. So
yeah.
The
best thing that it brings back is over the past 14 years, there have been around 300 people that we know of that accepted Christ at these dinners. And so, we just know that Hunter's jumping up and down in heaven, and it's just a blessing for us.
It really is. And Jimmy, this is not just a 2-hour event. You guys put on a show.
Yes, sir. We started, gates open at 10 o'clock, and it runs to about 9 or 10 at night. And we have all different kinds of skeet shooting, 3D archery shooting, tomahawk throws. We got BB shooting for kids. And we have ham on a string, which is a...
Ham on a string. That's what I was waiting for you to say. The old ham on the string. I don't know if anybody else does a ham on the string, but the folks at Holly Grove Cumberland Presbyterian Church, you guys know how to throw a party.
Well, we try to. We try to entertain everybody and make them feel welcome.
And you do have a little food, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir. We'll be cooking, and we'll feed about 1,200 people that
1,200 people. Did y'all hear that? I know the first time I went out there, I was just overwhelmed. And another time I was out there, they had a rainstorm, and I thought I was going to have to go to church there the next day. You know, I've been there to that, and I've been privileged to speak to it and everything. And now you have somebody that's really close to you going to be the speaker this year, right?
Yes, sir. My brother-in-law, Kerry. He has been in my life ever since I was born. That tells how old he is. But
and how long?
He's been a great mentor to me as far as just living life and also being a Christian.
All right. Now, is this Emma's brother?
No, sir. It's actually my sister's husband.
His sister's husband. Okay.
Yes,
so how long you and Emma been married?
We've been married 29 years.
29 years, and so Hunter passed away at the age of what?
12.
At the age of 12. Did you get that, listeners out there? This was a 12-year-old young man killed in a boating accident, wanted to be a preacher. And Mom and Dad have taken this step forward and really turned this into an event. Now, you may think you can't get there from here when you go to it, but you guys will have signs, and tell them a little how to get to Holly Grove Cumberland Presbyterian Church.
Okay, if you can find Highway 51 going north from Memphis.
Yeah.
You just find Highway 51, and it's about 35, 36 miles right out of Memphis, and there'll be signs all up and down 51 when you get into Tipton County.
Yeah.
Showing you, telling you which way to go. And you can come up to Woodlawn Street, which is there in Brighton.
Yeah.
Or if you're coming from the north and going south, you can hit Holly Grove Road right there in Covington.
And you can find it, and believe me, just follow the cars.
That's right. Just follow cars or stop and ask someone. They'll point you in the right direction.
Well, Jimmy, again, want to wish y'all a great meal and everything. That's September the 13th, Holly Grove Cumberland Presbyterian Church. We got it all posted on my website, LROutdoors.com. Jimmy, I know y'all have a great one, buddy, and tell everybody hello for me, okay?
I'll do that, and I sure do appreciate it.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Jimmy Stafford from the Hunter D. Stafford Wild Game Supper. They've taken a tragic event with their son being killed into pretty amazing.
It's about the only wild game dinner you can bring your own shotgun.
You can bring your own shotgun. That's right. That's for sure. And that's on September the 13th. All right, Charlie, we've been waiting on this. Charlie Covenant, our own poet laureate. Justin, this man is our poet laureate, and he has got a new poem that we're going to have Charlie read right now, and then we'll post it on the website. I don't have it yet, do I?
Okay, no, not yet.
I got to get it. All right. Charlie Covenant is a retired chaplain from the Baptist Hospital for how long, Charlie?
I was there 34 years.
34
I've
years.
been retired about 1 year.
All right. He worked for the hospital about the same time I worked for the Commercial Appeal, almost 34 years. And Charlie and I both go to Bartlett Hills Baptist Church. And so if you're looking for a church to go to tomorrow morning, come on out and have a chance to meet Charlie Covenant. Gene Smith will be at Leawood Baptist.
Yes, sir. I go to Leawood.
You go to Leawood. They built the church around you.
Yeah, they talked me into teaching the kids again. So
and you've been there how long many years you been there?
Started in 74.
1874.
1874.
Okay, that's a long time.
It was
ago.
just a wooden building.
Just
back
a
then.
wooden building. All right, Charlie Covenant. Let's hear the latest poem from Charlie Covenant.
Larry, you know the longer this old hot Memphis summer moves toward the cool fall,
yeah,
the more excited I get about camping and hiking.
All right, put it on us.
This poem called "The Outdoors Dad" was actually inspired by a Father's Day card that my son Daniel sent to me.
Okay.
This year. This is the way it goes. He loves spending time in the outdoors and remembering fun times with his boys. Took them camping, hiking, and looking at trees, and though they're grown, he recalls those joys. Never had much expensive equipment, just the basics is all that was used. If it didn't cost too much and was practical, then that's the brand he would use. Some outdoor stores push for image, more for looks than the skills of a man. Well, one can dress up in style to the hilt and still not know how to open a can. No high-dollar shirts and slacks. He wants to blend in, not stand out. Very picky and choosy with hiking sticks, should be sturdy and straight and stout. The old standby seems to be camo for all camping, hunting, or hiking. It is even worn in the suburbs for after-dinner walks or while biking. Hunter soap is even used in the shower, so to mask out the human scent. Never know what you'll see in the backyard or some night approaching your tent. Citronella is his candle of choice to keep skeeters and others away. Sometimes it is used as deodorant, but unfortunately keeps most friends at bay. He has placed camping lights on his patio, on 3 sides and hanging up high. They are miniature Coleman lanterns, and the neighbors are wondering why. Oh, he definitely loves to pitch horseshoes, and will pitch them right up until dark. How he loves that clanging of steel, every now and then producing a spark. Some king-size beds prove too fancy. Yeah, the forest is definitely his bent. Feeling right at home on his old army cot and inside of his gray Kelty tent. How sleeping calls for a noise machine, reproducing the sound of the wind. But tent sleeping in the midst of a rain gives him sweet dreams without end. Some folks get drowsy on plain Benadryl, but this dad prefers a campfire, with flames burning down to just glowing coals. Then old Sandman comes displaying his power. Well, the boys are grown and gone now, out on their own, and they love the outdoors like Dad. Well, maybe not to the extent that he does, but they love it, and that's not all bad.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's come on. Yeah, come on. This guy's worked hard on that. Thank you, Charlie.
You're welcome.
And the name of that again is?
The Outdoors Dad.
The Outdoors Dad. And we'll post that on LROutdoors.com. Give it to me over here. Let me see this. And I love Charlie when he does this. We're the only one that's has their own poet laureate. And those things just kind of come to you, you when you're laying down or
over a period of days.
On a period of days,
and
really.
Nights.
Yeah, you make revisions in it. I mean,
oh yeah,
yeah. And your wife Betty, does she get to review it before you? Or you just?
Sometimes she'll hear it if I can get her away from the TV.
Okay, all right. He's got. They have 2 sons, Andy and Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Andy's in Birmingham, and Daniel's out in Oregon.
That's
right,
in Portland.
In Portland, Oregon, and everything. So, thank you, Charlie. I wanted to
welcome.
save that for the end. I wanted Justin to get some culture in Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Yeah.
We got nothing else out of
From
that.
lawnmowers to poets.
Yeah, lawnmowers to poet to.
We cover it all.
To fancy wigged hats.
That's
here.
right.
I got to make a picture of this. So Gene Smith again. Next week's show, Outdoors with Larry Ray. We're going to be talking to Gene Smith will be in studio, and we'll also talk to Dave Gabbert of the TWRA, and we'll get you all wrapped up on what happened yesterday and Thursday at the, and I call that again, the Tennessee Fish and Wildlife Commission meeting in Jackson, and we'll get Mr. Bill Cox, our commissioner from the Collierville, will be on. We're going to try to hook up with Joe Benedict. He's the state waterfowl coordinator. Daryl Radijak. I got my notice. I got selected for a bow hunt down on President's Island.
Right, yeah.
But it wasn't the one Rodney put in for us, and I appreciate Rodney doing it. But I wanted that December hunt, but we got the October hunt when I think I'm gone to the Southeastern Outdoor Press Association. So I'm going to Lake Fontana in October, my wife and myself, for the 50th anniversary of the Southeastern Outdoor Press Association. I'm going to have Lisa Snuggs on from the COPA here sometime in September to talk about 50 years of outdoors. That's a pretty amazing thing, and that's where they had their very first convention 50 years ago, and we're going back to Fontana Village. And, folks, if you hadn't been to Fontana Village, right across the North Carolina border, right not too far out of Maryville in the Smoky Mountains, beautiful lake, got cabins, everything's been restored and everything like that. So we're going to that, and got word this past week, I guess I'll go ahead and announce it, that we've won some kind of award, we were told. I don't know what yet, but all I know is we have won something, so we'll find out from that when we get over there. But
because we have a poet.
And, yeah, we have our poet. Yeah, we should enter we need a poetry contest. I may try to do that and everything like that. But, again, next week, be talking to Gene Smith and Dave Gabbert in studio next week. And a lot of things are coming in. I want you to go to the website, OLR-Outdoors.com. Guy Trebo is working frantically to put down the new look we're going to have on it. Again, we send our condolence out to Guy for the recent loss of his mother, Gertie, the oldest volunteer for the St. Jude Golf Classic. Miss Gertie, I had privilege to go to her funeral. It was a wonderful funeral at St. Louis Catholic Church. But anyway, Guy's working on that. I've had a couple of meetings with Guy, and we're going to get all that set up and get out of here. Justin, thank you for taking care of us. Justin Wooten. This is Larry Ray reminding you, I do each and every week, that it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport.
Watch the sunrise.
And God bless the USA.